You know, I was thinking. What's that?
I found it in your drawer.
Is that a clown suit?
Yeah. Doc, it was in your drawer.
Well, what was it doing in there?
I don't know. It's not my drawer. It's your drawer. It was in there.
Well, that looks like the type that the staff wore to the pediatric circus when Grace
was killed. Okay. What I'd really like to hear now is the harmless explanation as to how it got in your drawer.
That makes two of us.
Well, I have to get up early for my first day back at GH tomorrow.
Is that a hint? We can't make love tonight because you got to get up at the crack of dawn?
Yeah, that's a hint.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that if you don't start touching more than just my shoulder, you are in a lot of trouble.
We have to find out if Greg Cooper was the one who sent that hostage anniversary letter. What if he's watching me?
I'm the only one watching you now, and I like what I see.
I'm serious, Frank. I mean, if Garcia is deluded enough to think that I sent that letter to myself, then the police aren't trying to figure out who actually did send it.
Oh, come on, you could be up all night worrying about this stuff. Don't take your mind off.
Oh, I'm exhausted. And I have to be up early for work.
Is there a time frame on this exhaustion thing of yours? You're tired all the time these days.
I'm sorry if you feel neglected, Frank, but I've been busting my butt at the hospital. I mean, the Quartermain residency is going to be announced at the nurses' ball, and until then, I want to do everything I can to put in a good showing. I know I'm not a strong contender, but I want to give it my best.
You really think you have a shot? You don't stand a snowball's chance in hell of getting the Quartermain.
I guess it's lucky for me you're not on the board.
I don't think the board is in the habit of giving prizes to accused murderers.
You're out of line,
Yeah, and you're
Frank.
pathetic. Daddy's cold in the grave, and you're still trying to impress him.
My father has nothing to do with this.
Oh, please. You want the Q because you're still trying to prove you're not the second-rate quack your old man thought you were. You know, I advise you to get over it.
Why are you being so mean to me?
I'm just calling it as I see it.
All this because I wouldn't sleep with you
come
tonight?
on. This hurt little girl act may have worked to guilt trip your old man, but it doesn't mean jack to me.
I don't know what is wrong with you at the moment, and I don't care because you're not going to take it out on me anymore. If you're so hot and bothered, why don't you go take a cold shower? I'm sleeping by myself tonight.
Code yellow. 6123 East. Code yellow.
Quiet, people. Grab some coffee, take a seat.
No, Burgess is here for more than just a friendly visit. I'm going to need something stronger than coffee.
I am delighted to welcome Dr. Burgess back as chief resident and head of the intern program.
Thank you.
All right.
I thoroughly enjoyed supervising the intern program, but I'm anxious to dedicate 100% of my time to my true love, pediatrics. You are a talented and dedicated group of doctors. My job was made easier because of the fine job Dr. Burgess did in training you.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Dr. Main. I'm sure that this group is now even sharper than when I left them.
Well, don't make me look bad. Take it away.
You know, I'm sure that you are all curious as to what brings me back to your neck of the woods. I did resign my position in California for personal reasons. And while I was very excited to be given the opportunity in San Diego, I am equally thrilled that circumstances conspired to bring me back here. So, what I need from all of you is to set aside some time to update me on your current cases, because I do have a lot of catching up to do.
Welcome back.
And we'll see you all out on the floor.
Dr. Mullins, orthopedics. Dr. Christopher Mullins.
Okay, was I seeing things, or did Burgess actually smile?
Oh, yeah.
She almost seemed giddy.
Why wouldn't she be? She's got another shot at torturing us.
Well, no one can deny that she's tough, but she's always been fair.
Oh, well, you know, opinions don't count from the teacher's pet.
Dr. Harmon, the chart on Sylvia Ochoa in room 614 is incomplete.
Well, I haven't finished my Scott. I was planning on getting to that after the meeting this morning.
Then get to it. You're not the only doctor in this hospital looking after this patient. You know, I suggest that you spend more time finishing your paperwork and less time socializing.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, it looks like somebody isn't teacher's pet anymore.
The sheriff is definitely back in town.
Yeah, well, maybe murders will stop. Burgess will scare off the criminal element.
Dr. Smith, 5017. Dr. Don Smith, 5017.
Just told me to meet you at Union Station. It's less public.
I'm on duty. I had a call. Did you get the new badge?
That'll hold you for a while. So listen, are we still playing 20 questions, or are you going to tell me what this stuff does?
I am paying you to make this stuff in your lab. That's all the information you need.
I just smell an opportunity here.
You got your money, now beat it.
Look, if this is some new kind of designer drug, I've got partners that can make us a lot of money.
Can we get something straight here?
Yeah.
There is no us. There will be no partners, and if you so much as whisper a word about this to anyone else, I will be forced to do some very bad things to you.
Cool, okay.
And if you're thinking about giving this drug a chase yourself, don't, because it could kill you. And then where would we be?
Look, I'm late for an appointment. Why don't I let you fix up?
Good idea.
Doc, listen, after I found that clown suit in your drawer last night, I wasn't able to close my eyes even for a minute.
Me either. My brain wouldn't shut down.
Well, did you come up with anything?
Victor said a clown killed Grace.
I know. So obviously that clown suit has something to do with the murder.
That doesn't explain why it's in our house.
Do you think Victor put it in your drawer?
Maybe. The next obvious question is Victor the killer? But if he is, why would he put the evidence in my drawer?
I don't know. Unless maybe he's trying to frame you, or Doc, maybe he's just so irrational right now that he doesn't even know what he's doing.
But the killer isn't irrational or dumb. Everything this person does is calculated, methodical.
Right. So could Victor maybe be one of those, split personalities?
You mean MPD? No, I don't think so. Besides, I'd like to think if I were living with someone that disturbed, I'd know it.
Okay, the day Grace was killed, Victor, he was missing, We didn't know where he was or what he was doing.
Doesn't look good for him, does it?
Listen, I don't really and truly believe that Victor is the killer. I mean, after all, he is trying to help us find the murderer. He wants to find as badly as we do. I mean, he did come up with that chart.
Victor is the killer. He's either brilliant or he's completely crazy.
Wow, that's not a really comforting choice, is it?
Excuse me, why don't you ask me which one I prefer?
Victor? Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do. I'm quite familiar with that.
Eve, hey, I've been looking for you.
Oh, well, I had to change. Little Kimmy Wolf lost her breakfast and her lunch with me.
Yeah, oh, bummer. Listen, what do you make of Burgess's arrival?
She moved back because her mother's sick.
No, I don't care about that. I mean, what do you think her return means for about the Quartermain prize?
What's the matter? Are you afraid that she'll hurt your chances?
Well, it's no secret that Burgess and Matt are friends. Look what she did for him when his brother showed up here, tried to make us all sleep at the fish.
All right, Chris, listen to me. Burgess and Matt are taskmaster and peon. That's it.
Maybe you're right. She did go off on him about that Ochoa chart.
Well, I'm glad that I could do my part to reassure you.
Yeah. Still, you never know what her reappearance will mean when it comes to, impacting the board's decision.
My gosh, Chris. You really should think about getting professional help for this obsession of yours.
Well, when I win the $50,000 that comes with the award, I'll be sure and spend a few bucks on a shrink. Or a nymphomaniac. I'm not sure which one would be more therapeutic.
If I were you, I'd put my money on the shrink.
Victor, you recognize this?
That's the same clown suit I saw the killer wearing.
Now, wait. Victor, me, personally, I can't tell one clown suit from another.
It's a point well taken. To be more precise, it looks a lot like the suit that I saw. Where did you find it?
In my drawer.
Oh, my God, Monk. Was I right? You did murder those people?
Of course not.
Well, are you sure?
If I wanted to kill someone, would I hide incriminating evidence in my drawer?
Well, a souvenir, maybe. Many killers like to keep a trophy of the crime.
Well, it isn't my trophy. It's not my anything.
Wait. Victor, we were just wondering if maybe you knew how the suit got in the drawer.
How would I know?
Maybe you put it there.
Oh, now, I know I'm getting on in years, but unless I am completely out to lunch and don't know it, I have no memory whatsoever of either murdering anybody or putting that clown suit in your drawer. I do remember very clearly seeing someone wearing a suit like that strangle Grace Soul.
Well, if none of us brought this into the house, how did it get here?
Dr. Burgess, I followed up on your suggestion. Here's that report.
How nice to see you doing your job.
Well, we aim to please.
Do you agree?
I see you believe in handling the situation aggressively.
Well, I wouldn't say aggressive, but I am very thorough. I think we should move quickly with my recommendations.
How many treatments do you think will be necessary?
Several times a day, until the condition clears up.
Well, you always come up with creative approaches. I'm sure this won't be any different.
Perhaps I can show you some new ideas I have at a later date.
I look forward to it.
Dr. Adams to cardiology. Dr. Monique Adams to cardiology.
Hey, Matt, if you need a hand revising that report, I'd be happy to help you.
Oh, thanks, Chris. I got it covered.
Hey, what'd you do? Burgess has been riding you all day.
Just lucky, I guess.
Dr. Gregory, pediatrics.
Hey.
Dr. Damien Roberts to pediatrics.
Julie, you got a minute?
If this is about taking over a shift or something, the answer's no. I'm swamped.
Burgess coming back's got you kind of down, huh?
Oh, Ellen Burgess is the least of my problems. Would you please shed some light on why members of your sex are so unpredictable?
Problems with Frank.
1 minute he's sweet, then he's angry, then he's protective, and then he insults me.
Something specific happened?
Last night, he said I was a second-rate doctor who's still trying to impress my dead father.
Now, come on, you're smoking around here, even with all the things that have happened to you.
Thanks, Jake.
Look, I think Frank's going through a post-traumatic stress because of the accident. I think he was on his feet way too soon afterwards.
Maybe he was more affected by this fall than any of us thought. Have you noticed anything different about him?
Last month, before Lark disappeared, we were talking, nothing else. Right, Frank comes up, he gets rid of Lark, and then he lays into me.
What did he say?
He said he was going to break every bone in my body if I got involved with Lark again.
I don't get it.
Yeah, he'd stand there, patting me on the shoulder, and he calmly, in detail, explains to me how he's going to mess me up if I go near her again.
Frank was always protective of Lark, but threatening to beat you up is too bizarre.
Well, it gets stranger, okay? At Grace's wake, he comes up to me, and then he apologizes for what he said before, and then he implies that it'd be okay if Lark and I were to see each other again.
Frank said it was okay for you to date Lark?
Pretty much. It was like talking to a total stranger.
I have no idea what almost dying might have done to Frank, but it definitely did something.
What's the matter? Jailbait not good enough for you anymore?
Excuse
Frank.
me?
Flirting with Jake, your new way to score points for the
We
quarter?
weren't.
Oh, shut up! Nobody gets away with playing me for the fool.
How could you possibly believe anything is going on?
I have eyes. I can see.
Frank, take it easy, okay? This is nothing.
Are you saying Julie is nothing?
Well, look, that's not what I meant.
Do you even know what you mean, Jake? First you're hot for Lark, now it's Julie. Who's next, my mother?
You're being ridiculous, Frank.
Last night you couldn't wait to get away from me. Now I see why.
Jake and I are friends.
You want Jake Marshak, you can have him. She's all yours, pretty boy.
You're the one I thought I wanted, Frank, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Let me make it easy for you. I am through with you.
Dr. Alcacer, 3715. Dr. Ralph, Alcacer, 3715.
After our earlier discussion, I expected more from you, Dr. Harmon.
I detect a hint of dissatisfaction in your voice.
I would prefer to discuss it in private.
That sounds like my cue.
Eve, no. If Dr. Burgess has something to say, she can say it in front of you.
My policy is not to discuss one intern's performance in front of another.
That sounds good to me. Bye-bye.
Is this about Sylvia Ochoa again?
This is about another one of your patients.
Oh, yeah?
Doctor,
Yeah.
I'm in need
Mm-hmm.
of some tea. L.
Mm-hmm.
C.
No. I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
Why? What's going on?
Matt's catching hell.
From Burgess?
Oh, she's in rare form.
All right. Let the thrashings commence. Guy was getting way too confident, if you ask me.
Nobody asked you.
Oh, come on. He's been acting like he's got the Quartermain all wrapped up. Hope he's getting exactly what he deserves.
You know what? You better not ever pull any more stunts like you did with that report. What if Chris Ramsey had asked to see it?
Well, he asked me if I needed help with it. I said I could handle it.
Oh, Matt, what if that had been Alan Quartermain or Gail Baldwin?
Well,
or any other doctor whose curiosity we couldn't brush off?
I would have eaten the evidence.
Promise that you will never pass notes in class. Swear.
Only on one condition.
What?
My apartment after work.
Oh, you tried such a hard bargain.
I know.
Well, I want a technician out here right now to run a test on the entire system. And tell them to bring more infrareds. I want them installed today.
I hate this. I hate the thought of somebody in our house going through our things. It's such a violation.
I think we should call the police.
We may not have to.
Why not?
They may already be on the way. Whoever put the incriminating evidence in your drawer could just as easily have tipped off the police as well.
We don't know that it's evidence. I mean, that clown suit might not be the killer's clown suit.
Wait a minute. We can't sit on this.
Why not? Let's just, better yet, let's just get rid of it. Let's burn it.
We can't burn it. It might have hair or fiber evidence on it.
Doc, think about it. People already believe that you could possibly be the killer. If the media gets a hold of this, we're doomed.
Lucy's right. It might not be evidence. It might just be someone's tasteless idea of a joke.
And the suit might actually point to the real killer.
No, Eve would never put something as evidence just to lead to her arrest.
Eve. I'm very happy you two are concerned about my welfare, but we have a moral obligation to do the right thing. Grace Sullivan was murdered. I'm not about to stand in the way of the investigation. Detective Garcia, please. This is Kevin Collins. Garcia, I think we may have found a clue into Grace Sullivan's murder. Well, we may have found some clothing that the murderer was wearing in my home.
This is Lisa McCree.
And Kevin Newman. Tomorrow, satisfy our appetite with our chef to the stars, Wolfgang Puck.
Plus, a summer makeup makeover with Trish McEvoy tomorrow on Good Morning America.
Who do you suspect is the general homicide murderer? Cast your vote in the Port Charles Daily Poll at abc.com.